Today we will discuss about the topic, the theory of subjective idealism of Berkeley, the part 3. In the previous classes we discussed about two portions. The first part is the essence and the backbone of the subjective idealism of Berkeley, and the second part is the subjectivity of the primary qualitist. Now, before I continue the new topic, I would like to give a summary of the portions what we did in the previous classes in connection with the subjective idealism of Judge Berkeley. We all know that according to Judge Berkeley, matter is nothing but it is a cluster of qualities. The external worlds are nothing but the cluster of qualities. Berkeley was an idealist. We know why he is known as the subjective idealist. According to Berkeley, what we find is that he denies the existence of the material external world. There is no any substance, there is no any matter outside world, beyond the perception of our mind. Berkeley admitted the existence of two realities, mind, finite mind and the infinite mind. Therefore, he admitted the existence of the finite mind substances and the infinite mind substances. And the mind is the ultimate reality. This is the concept of Judge Berkeley. And according to his philosophy, what we see is that all the existence of things are dependent on our mind. All the external world are mind dependent. They do not exist beyond the perception of our mind. Therefore, his philosophy is known as subjective idealism. In connection with this matter, we discussed in the part 1 of the subjective idealism of Berkeley we discussed. In the second part, what we discussed in the class is that both the primary qualities and the secondary qualities are same. According to Locke, now we may remember here, according to Locke, what we have come across is that the external objects have two qualities. One is primary quality and the one is secondary qualities. So primary qualities are color, heat. There are some things which are changeable. Those things are secondary qualities, and the primary qualities are those which are extension, shape, size, weight, motion, etc., which have not changed, according to Locke, they belong to the primary qualities, and he thought that primary qualities are real and secondary qualities are unreal. But according to the just Berkeley, what we discussed in the second part of the subjective idealism of just Berkeley, what we see is that both the primary qualities and secondary qualities are same. There is no any difference, there is no any distinction between these two qualities, because primary qualities are also subjective. Primary qualities are also dependent on our mind. They are also perceived by us. If they are separated from our mind, they cannot be recognized as existence. So, up to here, what we have discussed is that primary qualities and secondary qualities are one quality, no distinction, no difference. And these qualities are mind dependent, therefore just Berkeley's philosophy is known as subjective idealism. Then today we will discuss about the third portion, the last portion of the subjective idealism of John Berkeley. That is the argument for the non-existence of matter. Then let us see. Now let me change your direction. Let us see the last part of the subjective idealism of just Berkeley. This is the last part. It is argument for the non-existence of matter. Now, after we have discussed about a brief summary of the previous classes, now let us discuss about these arguments regarding the non-existence of matter. We know that Berkeley refuses the existence of matter. According to Locke, matter is the substratum that is to support the primary qualities. But this matter is unknown and unknowable. This is the opinion of John Locke. But according to Berkeley, what we see is that he denies the existence of matter, because any substance or any matter which is going to support the primary qualities are inconceivable. Berkeley says, esse is percipi. This is the Latin word. We remember this is a Latin phrase. It means existence is perception. If something is to be considered as existence, it must have a relation to the perception. Perception must be there. At that time, existence must be there. If perception is not there, there must not be any existence. Existence consists in being perceived. This is the meaning of the esse is perceiving. Law says that matter is unknown and unknowable. The substratum which is going to support the primary qualities, the substance or the matter, is unknown and unknowable. But here Can you imagine that there is something that exists beyond our perception? Can you imagine it? Actually not. We cannot imagine the existence of something where there is no perception. So, if the substance or if the matter is unknown and unknowable, it does not exist. The very phrase indicates that it does not exist. Matter does not exist. Then, in his second argument, in connection with the non-existence of matter, the substance or matter is the unknown and unknowable substratum of the primary qualities is inconceivable. We noticed. Just I have mentioned you the existence of a substance or a matter as a support of the primary qualities is inconceivable. But we always inquire. We always have an inquiry into our mind whether there is anything which is support of this matter or substance. Now, in the previous arguments and the discussion, we know that there is no existence of the external world. There is no existence of the primary and secondary qualities, which is not beyond our perception. All the qualities, whether the primary qualities or secondary qualities, are perceived by the mind. Therefore, they are the ideas of the mind. There is anything which is not the ideas of the mind. So, we need not here to assume the existence of matter or substance. This is the main concept given by Judge Berkeley. Now here, from this picture you see the picture of art and imagination of the existence of the support of this art. Somewhere here is a question: is there any support for this, for the existence of this world, this external world? But the main thing is that we cannot imagine anything which is unknown and unknowable in the imagination, the existence of anything which is to support this quality, the external world. It is inconceivable. No need of, in the next argument, this is the third argument, no need of assuming the existence of matter to support primary qualities. According to this line, what we mean is that there is no necessary for the assumption of the existence of matter to support the primary qualities. Why? Because we have accepted that there is no any primary qualities. All the qualities are same. Primary qualities are also perceived by our mind. Secondary qualities are also perceived by our mind. Secondary qualities and the primary qualities are same. There is no any difference. There is no any distinction between these qualities. Primary qualities are also ideas. secondary qualities are also ideas. Both are the ideas of the mind. Now here, look at the picture. You see here the perception of different things, whether it may be primary qualities, whether it may be secondary qualities, or any type of qualities. We perceive all these things. Beyond this perception, we cannot imagine any existence of the substance. The reality or the existence of an object or of a thing is the perception. When we perceive the object in our mind, when we have the existence of the sensation of the existence of the object, then the object exists. Otherwise, we will not say that the object exists. Then, next argument is, if matter exists, it is known either by the senses or by reason. Now, we know that in our common sense, we can see if something exists, it must be perceived by our senses. We must hear it, or we must touch it, we must feel it, or we can smell it, we can see it through our sense organs, with our sense organs. Or we must know its existence by our reason. Otherwise, beyond the perception of our senses, beyond the perception of our reason, we cannot have any imagination of the existence of any matter. So let us take up an example, for example, an orange. If we think the existence of the orange, because we perceive. We perceive it. The sensation we have of the orange. We human mind can recognize the existence of the externality of the orange. Only that moment we know that it exists. The existence of the orange cannot be beyond our perception. Now, from this, we know that if the matter is known through the senses, it is nothing but an idea. Once it is perceived through our sense organ, it must be an idea. Then whatever we perceive must be an idea. For whatever is perceived is an idea. And there is no question of the existence of matter, and there is no necessary connection between sensation and material things. Now here, Judge Berkeley mentioned here the existence of God. God is the infinite mind. According to him, our sensations are produced by God in our minds. Then next point. This is the last argument. Objects and sensations are same. When we perceive an object, the sensation of the object and the sensation must be same. There must not be any difference between the two. if these similarities are supposed to happen, then the idea must be vague or unreal. The sensation must be vague or unreal. So sensation and object must be same. Therefore, an object can never be perceived apart from its sensation. Sensation and object has a similarity, no distinction. Distinction cannot be seen there. Now, it is according to Berkeley, what we know is that it is impossible for me to see or feel anything without an actual sensation of that thing. Say, actual sensation of the thing must be there. Actual sensation must be there if we see it or we feel it. Without any actual sensation, we cannot see it, we cannot feel it. And again, he says that it is impossible for me to conceive in my thoughts any sensible thing or object distinct from the sensation or perception of it. Means that, say for example, we cannot imagine a thing in our mind. We cannot conceive an idea in our thought, any sensible thing, any object which is distinct from the sensation or perception. If it is a sensation, if it is perception, it must be the object. No discrimination, no distinction must not be there. In the conclusion, the object and the sensation are the same thing, cannot therefore be abstracted from each other. So extension cannot be separated from the color, and the heat cannot be separated from extension. Likewise, objects and sensation are same, no difference, no distinction. Objects and sensation are same. This is the conclusion of the theory of the idealism of Judge Berkeley, and this is the argument for the non-existence of matter. What is existence? What we have in our mind is only the thing, only the object, what is within the perception of our mind, within the range of our mind, within the perception of the infinite mind, within the range of the infinite mind. Therefore, every object, everything is dependent on our mind. The external world is dependent on our mind. There is no any existence which is beyond our perception. Therefore, his philosophy is known as subjective idealism. Now, here we finished the discussion of the subjective idealism of Judge Berkeley.